Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rapid Subconscious Reprogramming. Today we're going to be talking about cognitive bypassing, not really dealing with the emotions. So welcome back, thank you for being here. If you're watching on social media, as I normally ask, guys, it would be great if you can put a hashtag live if you're watching live, hashtag replay if you're watching replay. Remember, when people interact with this, social media shows it to more people, and I'm taking this time to offer as much as I can to help people around the world with their mindset, with whatever they're struggling, with the challenges that we are living nowadays, right? So if you can comment, send me some love there so more people get to see it, and I know also that you're there. So thank you very much. Let's get started with this amazing topic today. So what does cognitive bypassing mean? And this is important because I see it a lot, not in everyone, but a lot of people that are not used to dealing with their emotions. They have found ways, as I always say, protective mechanisms to protect them from the pain. That's what the mind is doing. Remember, the mind is not the enemy. It's trying to protect us. So whenever we're feeling something, maybe anger, right, that is bothering us, and we find a way not to really deal with that. But I imagine cognitive bypassing could be like, oh, I shouldn't feel angry because this, and this, and this. And we logically explain why we shouldn't feel angry, right? Or when you ask somebody, or yourself, how do I feel? And then the mind starts logically trying to explain something like, oh, I got really angry. It really bothered me because this person cut in front of me with a car, and blah, 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 blah. And you go down this road of explanation, but not really connecting with the pain behind the anger. The anger, as I normally say, is a surface level problem. Under the anger, it could be, feeling neglected, feeling not seen, feeling not worthy, feeling not valued. If somebody cut in front of you, they didn't see you, they didn't care for you, they didn't make you feel recognized, it didn't feel you worthy or whatever, right? So what the mind does is move away from the pain as a protective mechanism. But the problem is, when we move away from the pain, there's no learning. And this is what I've seen over and over again with personal development. Another, cognitive bypass in a way is when people use affirmations to try to feel better. So they feel like crap. And instead of investigating and learning from what they're feeling like crap, what's going on in their mind, they start doing affirmations to move away from the pain. Or gratitude, right? They logically start making, bringing these things in to try to stop the pain. So I feel anger, I start thinking about gratitude, right? So while I feel gratitude, quote unquote, I shouldn't feel angry. So in a way, I'm logically trying to bypass my emotions, stop the pain. But what I'm actually doing is, as I said just now, bypassing. I'm not really dealing with the pain. And one of the most important things that we need to do, people, is to learn how to deal with the pain. We need to go within and through the pain to be able to really release it. Sorry, the fireworks. Sometimes I do some things with my hands and fireworks, but it comes in the perfect moment, right? We need to go within and deal with whatever is going on inside of us to really be able to release and let go. If we keep falling into logically explaining how I feel, right, moving away from the pain, whatever it is that I move away from the emotions, could be a way of protection, and could be, as I call it right now, cognitive bypass, using the mind to try to logically explain something that's going on, but actually not really dealing with it. So again, how could that look like? I've done this many years. I used to teach emergency care. So after a rescue simulation that we did, where maybe we got somebody to die, in front of them, so that they can start tapping into dealing with death. Although it was a simulation, they took it really serious, right? And I would ask a person, how did you feel? Um, um, it was okay. It made me feel a little bit of stress, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then suddenly they went down the road of explaining. So when I got there, I saw the situation, so I knew I had to act, but I suddenly lost it and I didn't know what to do. So I started looking for help. So they started kind of doing telling a story without adding any emotion. So what we got to look for ourselves, of course, right, first, if we're doing this, is moving away from how am I feeling? I'm feeling anger. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling I don't know, lonely, shame, guilt, right? There is so many emotions out there, and most people are moving away and trying to logically explain what they're going through. So by logically explaining what you're going through, you're not actually dealing with what's going on. So I'm not saying it's easy, and this is important to understand, please. I'm bringing this forward to help you with this, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Remember, it's a protective mechanism. So the first thing that I recommend is to love and accept that mechanism that you created. Or if you're talking to somebody else and you're seeing that they're having a hard time connecting with their emotions, understand that they're in pain and they're moving away from the pain to protect themselves. So I never said to somebody, oh, you're moving away from your pain, you shouldn't do that, right? I would ask them again, oh, if you don't mind, can we go back to how did it make you feel? I understand that you went through this, you went through this, you went through this. Okay, so when you get to the scene, how did you feel? So many times people are so good at this that they start in a way saying like, oh, so when I got there, I saw this and I saw that and this and that, and they start again going down into a story. Okay, and I stop them. Hey, thank you. I appreciate what you're saying. 1 second before we go there. So I tell them that, like before we go there, can we try to tap into what did you feel at that moment? Try to close your eyes, reduce distractions, right? Close your eyes, breathe a couple of times, connect with your body, and feel if there's a tension, if there's any type of feeling, emotion, tension in the body, in the mind, right? That could be showing you that there is something there to deal with. And this, I've seen it over and over again. People, again, they start using their words and they start telling a story. But if you really listen, if you feel their story, there are no emotions there. So if you're in it, doing it, it's not easy to see it, but at least be more aware and love and accept if you're doing it. Remember that part of you is trying to protect you. And if you see somebody else doing it, that you're trying to help them, you're just trying to help them connect with their emotions, again, love and acceptance. Because again, cognitive bypass is a way to not connect with pain. And it is very valid because when we were kids, remember this, people, when we were kids, we were taught, and then it was reinforced, and even today it's reinforced by lots of gurus out there, spiritual teachers. We got to focus on positivity. We got to be careful with that. I'm working with a woman that she did kind of a seminar or something with a group of people with Abraham Hicks, and she sent me the audio of that. And at the beginning, Abraham Hicks is trying to help this person in a way, instead of really connecting with her pain, is helping her move away from the pain and focus on the positivity. And that is not okay, people. Because I asked her, now that she started with this work with me and everything, how did you feel back then compared to now? Do you feel less listen or more listen as you're doing this work now? Oh no, Tommy, I feel much more listen. I feel understood. I validated that experience and it allowed me to start dissolving that. And that's what we need to understand. When the mind feels love, when it feels acceptance, when it feels understood, the mind opens up to information that might help the mind change its own mind. To change the mind, we need love, acceptance, and understanding. Seriously, that's the biggest trick that I work on people. I posted something today. I said that people, when they ask me about what is the secret ingredient in my work, it's unconditional love and acceptance and understanding of what the person is going on. If they're falling into perfectionism, if they're falling into self-sabotage, if they're falling into procrastination, if they're falling into people pleasing, if they're accepting somebody to walk all over them, I love them and accept them and help them understand why they're doing it. Because if they start to try to deny what's going on, if they bypass, if they tried anything else except loving, accepting, and understanding, there's no real growth. That's when you need to bring in tools like the Dickinson method, where you scare the shit out of yourself to try to change a habit. So if somebody, loves sweets, right, and they're eating lots of sweets, so they imagine themselves in 10 years with diabetes, obese, struggling with their weight, about to die because of diabetes or losing limbs from diabetes. And from there, they try to change. That is, again, authoritarianism. That is not true love. True love is loving and accepting that there's a part of you that is not feeling love and acceptance and is using sweets as a way to deal with that pain. Seriously, I've worked with people that were doing sweets because when they were kids or their parents or a grandmother, I remember a woman that I was working with, she came to me saying, Tommy, I have a problem with sweets. I cannot let them go. I tried many things out there. Nothing seems to work. So I asked her, what did she try? And most of the things were trying to stop that. And I told her, okay, I want to bring a change in paradigm. Instead of trying to stop that, I want you to try to love and accept the part of you and understand the part of you that is doing that. When she finally was able to grasp that, open up to love and acceptance and understanding, she realized where it came from. And she told me, Tommy, I just realized that my grandmother would give me treats whenever I visit her, and that was my way of feeling her love. So now I give myself those treats because it reminds me of that love that I got from my grandmother. So instead of having her stop feeling loved, I shared with her how to start loving herself, and eventually she started reducing the amount of sugar till she was able to eat, little amounts or per day or a week, right? But reduce the amount of sugar she was eating, that she was eating too much. So it was by, again, understanding, love, and accepting, bringing to herself love and acceptance, understanding, and the mind opened up to change. And this is what I want you to understand. When we bring the logic, the ego in, and I was working today with a guy that was telling me, right, but Tommy, I'm falling into perfectionism on this side, but what's going on that suddenly I don't want to do whatever activity is good for me. So when we started going deeper, he was logically trying to convince himself to stop doing something, but there was a lack of love and acceptance. So we started practicing again, love and acceptance. That is going to bring understanding. Understanding is going to bring the mind to a state that is going to dissolve whatever behavior we're doing that we don't want to do, or start creating a behavior that we're trying to create. Everything is through the connection of mind and heart, emotional intelligence. But remember, the ego, the mind, is going to bring different behaviors, method, ways to try to protect you from connecting with the pain. Because when we were kids, we were taught that negative emotions were bad. Don't be angry. Don't be scared. Don't be. We heard it several times. Don't be sad. Don't be angry. Don't behave like this. We have attached that negative emotions are bad. So the mind has learned mechanisms to try to override that, try to move away from that. And that's where I go back, circling back to cognitive bypass, moving away from the emotions from a logical place. We need to use logic, yes, but we need to embrace everything, create an environment of love and acceptance so that then logic starts working. Logic without love and acceptance, as I said before, is going to just create more getting stuck, more of the behavior that we don't want. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think in the chat. If you're liking this, I'm going to finish this, leave you to think about what I just said, think about what you are falling maybe into logic, trying to explain things, but without connecting with the pain, with your emotions, with the negative emotions. And if you have tried also being alert around your circle, seeing when people are doing that, because I've seen it over and over again. We're so professionals in moving away from the pain. And unfortunately, quote unquote, unfortunately, we need to learn how to face the pain to be able to release it, let it go, and be able to start moving forward. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Greg. I see that you're there watching on social media. Thank you very much. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Take care.